Alrighty, we're back with more Riven. As I mentioned at the end of last episode, I did a bunch of off-stream work reviewing the old VODs, stuff that would be boring to watch me do on stream, but I did want to summarize all of the stuff that I did do. In my images here, I took pictures of all of the different images from this animal puzzle. And then we had mostly figured out the solution last time. I had number 2, 3, 4, and 5, the descriptions of the sounds and what the order was. So one of the things that happened right when I finished stream last time, I posted about this in Discord, I was saving all of my screenshots and I noticed that, like, there's one right there. Totally just was sitting there in plain sight. So that's definitely the jellyfish. So I'm pretty sure the second one is the jellyfish. Number 3 had a bird chirping sound. Panning through the video, looking for all the times where I encountered animals, I noticed that the frog made that kind of sound. It's not really a bird chirp, but it's the same sound effect. Number 4, so I was just asking about this in Discord because I wasn't completely sure. Earlier in my VODs, whenever I approached the plesiosaur things, these guys, they made a sound that sounded really similar to this one, but I could barely make it out because my audio was turned down and I was usually talking over it at the same time. But it sounded really close, and I just confirmed that, yeah, I'm actually on the right track, that I think that is the plesiosaur. And then the last one was a loud roaring sound. So when I watched the VOD, I noticed it was the same noise from this big fish thing, which when I uploaded last VOD, I ended up learning that that's called a wark, so I could give it the VOD title. So I know the last 4. I don't know the first one. The first one is the one that's in the bad guy's lab. He says that it was removed from underwater, so I assume that it's some kind of fish. If it's a fish, I have a limited number of things I can try. I guess there's the DSL fish, the regular fish, the Subnautica fish, and the crab, maybe. It's probably not a crab. If it's something like a bug or a beluga, I guess I'm just totally hosed, but I will give it a try regardless. Other things I wanted to cover, I guess let me do this puzzle first because I have a few other notes about puzzles that I'm working on, but this is the big one that I left last episode on, so let's start with that and then I'll look at the screen again. So if number 1 has to be a fish, let's see, that's a fish. And then 2 was the jellyfish. This guy. 3 was the frog, that's right. And the plesiosaur, is this the frog? It's this thing. And then the wark, or the big fish. I think it's supposed to go to 5, isn't it? Did I miss one? I think there's like a lever I have to pull or something. I think maybe if I push another one, it resets. Okay, that's what the problem is. All right, so it must not be that first fish. Oops, don't want that actually. What are other fish options? DSL fish. Jellyfish. Frog. Plesiosaur. Work. Seems like that's also not it. Okay, if I try all the fishes brute force and they don't work, I'll try to leave and figure out what number 1 was. I couldn't find any other hint to it though. That's a fish. Okay. Frog. Hey. Okay. So it was one of the fish there, but not clear to me which one. How was I supposed to know which fish it was? Was there a more specific hint other than the it was underwater thing? Because I didn't get any sound effect for that one, right? This game's graphics are really good. This game and Myst both feel like they're a game from like the 2020s that was sent back in time to the 90s. What we got here? Ooh. It's cool. I know the remake of this is out now. We were thinking about maybe switching to the remake mid-playthrough, but it sounds like it has enough things that are a change that that's a bad idea. Hey, that's the box art. Whoa. Spooky. Oh, that's not good. That was the guy from the treetop area earlier, I think. Really like the real actors. I think they add a lot to these scenes. Somewhere right now? I think I'm still in a cutscene. Oh, weird. I'm in the little tower now, okay. Whoa. It's inside the thing. I think the like tone in this game is like unmatched. It's insane. Sounds like someone's here. Game's a bit quiet. I'm gonna turn it up a bit.
Katarina now da saya palo. Yapai manai yalepo. Miotisai. Bekaretere wirape yelo kene falapo.
I wonder how they kept these performances for the remake.
Why te fulupe?
Interesting if they like actually had the film saved. All right, anytime this game gives me a book, I feel like I need to save my game. Oops. Linked to Riven a week ago. Smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. I only partially cleared. Stood motionless, peering ahead through a dim veil, slowly lifting. Violent clang. Then something appeared. breathing slowly and very deeply, taking the familiar Riven in, or Riven air. Okay. Can't read this handwriting as well as the other handwriting. Not recognizing a thing. I must have been hit with the dart right away. Thought it was an insect at first. I'm trying to remember it all. Difficult, maybe because of the drug. There's a voice, and I did not recognize stood before me. Somebody. Rivenese. Wearing Oni dress. Maybe talking to me, and the poison was already taking effect. Shadow crept in and I fell asleep. There were the many voices, but I understood none of them, like hundreds of people whispering I couldn't wake up. Matter, the dream did end, and now to be here with something. In so many years, I didn't realize how much I missed her. A piece of me I'd forgotten I'd lost. Beautiful and so full of warmth. Years left her with a wound which was not there when we were children. Oh, Catherine. Right quickly from my prison. Will return your book. Accepted upon your arrival after questioning her. It was written by Atrus for a very specific purpose. Gehn, I think that's the name of the bad guy. To use it. May have suspicions. If you find my prison, just need the combination to release me. Gehn keeps it in his office. Okay, so I do have that combination. That's this, which we've used a couple times. It opens those like orb things, and then there's a book inside that has that's just like black. I can't do anything with it. Signal Atreus or Atrius. Now it might be done. Don't signal him before I am released. Okay. Let me write this down in my Riven text file here. And can wait until Catherine has been rescued. It's awkward. No one has asked where I've been, what I've been doing. I understand it. Gentle people had their nest destroyed. And if we cling to anything that might save them. Cool little doodle. Why have they chosen to cling to me? I'm confused. As a child, I always felt out of place here. Never belonged. They misunderstood me. I couldn't relate to them. I owe everything to them in this place. I don't know if that image is going to be helpful, but I'm going to take a screenshot of it anyway, just in case. Oops, not that. Being their savior. Record some of it. Seems when Atrius and I trapped again on Riven many years ago. Efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants here. Two of the Rivenese witnessed the confrontation with Gehn at the fissure. Linked back to Myst. Atrius threw himself into the abyss. There's a little of what they were seeing. Able to guess what we had won. And was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, a false god. Yeah. He's a dick. Hoped they would deduce the simple truth. Further conclusions have astonished me. Atrius had stripped Gehn of his power. Therefore, Atrius must be a true god. God, he was choosing me, the spiritual misfit from a Rivenese womb, to be his wife. Sending the deity. Oh, interesting. Can't read that at all. Something iety. from a dissident society, sworn enemies of Gehn. Know their beliefs regarding, I think it's Atrus, not Atrius, right? So 2 days ago, hesitant to tell me. Etty was hesitant to tell me. Can't figure out why. I know she doesn't believe these things. Anything else? Moiti? Okay, thank you. It is an M, isn't it? Having the left part of it be so huge. False god. Oh, wait. Told the mythical story of my own life. Acting out battle between Atrus, myself, and Gehn at the edge of the fissure. The events have been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive. Unable to stop it. Unable to break the illusion, which is the foundation of their hope and purpose. Other doctrines and beliefs that have evolved. Yeah, because there's this idea that like time travels or moves differently in different worlds. So if they left the world for a while and came back, there could have been all these like mythologies that grew up in their absence. Turn to Riven to free them. Some believe I will overthrow again. Others believe that I will bring them to paradise. How to deal with this? I fight it. I love these people, my only kindred. Will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. They'd be their slave than their master. Nice. I've seen this symbol a whole bunch of times. Gehn's power has become greater and greater. The moiety's numbers have grown. Become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They live in a complex network. Caves? He still has not discovered. For the most part, they've completely severed their relationship with any of the Rivenese that chose against joining them. I hope they're not sacrificed. Hope they've not sacrificed vital limbs in order to remove the cancer. Okay. Take place. Due to the surface in superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging one of Gehn's constructions, stealing food from the villages. They wear strange masks and costumes. This basically explains all of the like random people we've seen around, I suppose. The surface are frightened by these costumes. During one of these expeditions, they fortuitously rescued me from one of Gehn's guards. First appeared on the island, both something. Sort of seemed delivered to Gehn immediately. No doubt he's searching for me. I'm aware that I was forced. Atrus is not here. Devastated by this realization. Thankful he would be in extreme peril. Quiet inner voice. Wants him far away. To witness an age dying, gasping at its last breath. That sucks. Today I ventured to the surface to see what has become of this island. Not be as bad as the moiety had reported. It was worse. I'm accustomed to its steady decay. That makes sense. From which the kiss is wrought. Fallen words. Breath. At the surface, we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. For the last of the doors, they offered me a weapon, which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what sort of terror it might invoke. those members of my family who still live on the surface. I must keep my identity hidden from Genn's ever-vigilant eye. So I accepted it as well. We have seen that eye motif a lot. We swam a short expanse, emerged out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. Or suddenly made my eyes sting. The fresh, rich air was exhilarating after these past weeks in the dank caves. Two men with me were silent, communicating only with hand signals. Three of us emerged from one hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of a thick and overgrown area of the forest, they stopped, peered through the foliage, turned to me as if awaiting my command. But I could not respond. In fact, I found it difficult to move. I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. Numbness. Don't think that's helpful. I mean, I know what that's a picture of, but I don't think there's anything there, but I will take a screenshot anyway, just in case. Stay along on the surface. It's once one island, split apart into 5 distinct pieces. Okay, so that's one of the notes I was going to make. I was trying to gather my thoughts in my future Marstead text file. Realized I've been to 4 islands so far, and it's like nothing in this game is 4 or 6. It's always 5. So it makes sense that there are 5 islands. I think that's backed up. I think we have like evidence of that too in the there's the island with the weird like needle impression toy that shows you like a 3D view of the different islands. I think there were 5 shapes there. 4 of these claimed by Gehn. This is exclusive domain. These ministers and personal militia were allowed access to them. Vantage point at the edge of the forest. I could see 3 of these islands. They're stripped of their former beauty with Genn's self-absorbed constructions. Why you rarely visit these closely guarded places. Island which I cannot see, as it evidently crept away to a terrific distance. But you're very unclear as to what exists on this island, except for the fact that they know it is where the great tree used to exist. First is located on the island. Surface dwellers in the mighty still referred to as Riven. Or the entire world is Riven. This island is where the village is. Changed dramatically. Okay, so the village is like, I've been calling it the treetop island. Oh, I see. They're showing what the islands used to look like before Gehn installed a bunch of bullshit on them. Just gonna do safety screenshots of any pictures just in case. Another reason for the fraction of the islands. We do not. Gehn wrote this place will die. So all of Gen's ages eventually die. Well, nothing, I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world inhabited by people that blank. Treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. Still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves. Talking my bravery during my excursion to the surface. I walked across the island, bold and unafraid. They don't know me. The Eddie is uncomfortable around me. Times there's no awkwardness. Like Catran to her. Something else. Afraid. Such a gaunt numbness inside me. I feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. Don't hate Gehn. I don't feel anything. I'm not even sure of. At least Nayla is still close. Oops, that's what I already had. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Boiling, I'm Gehn is making and writing books. If they had told me sooner, I should have realized this would happen, of course. Written all the materials necessary. Only craft of making books into this age. Oh, sure. Or is that Oni or is it Denis? I think I've seen D and I before, right? Every other age you ever wrote. Okay, thanks. To narrate his way out of here. Not imprison him. Only delayed him. He just become his factory. People are his machines. That's fucked up. I've been able to produce a fully functional book. Atrus never believed in destiny. I don't know what else to call it. It's too perfect. It's too much of a coincidence. I hang on every word. I don't understand them. I am their hope. Now that I have returned, I owe this to them. There's no choice. Oh, hello. That's important. Well, I think this is telling me something I already knew, right? That there's a switch in the little temple on the side that interacts with this thing. Long time since my last entry. It's hard to recognize. Found the Starfisher. It's located on the island, which the Rivenese call Aleppo. Water pool. Oh, hey. That seems freaking important. All right, we're going to get our solution to this puzzle now. Sweet. Once allowed Atrus to escape the age without leaving an open door behind us. It has since been sealed. Skin of hoary iron? Weary iron. Crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport. Yep. Okay, that's a telescope. I keep calling it a vacuum machine. Combination to which was acquired by the Moadi before my arrival. Okay, I'll figure out what that is in a second. Early days, seeking an escape from Riven, briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. That's this guy, right? Yeah, I think I figured that out by accident just by clicking on that screen. Ultimately, they decided against opening it. They knew what would happen to them if they had not left it alone. Urged them to stay away from it. Oh, okay. I was hoping this was going to be a breadcrumb for something new to do. Almost certain that with the decayed state of the islands, opening the fissure now would be disastrous. Days immediately following Gehn's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure. He had seen the Myst book fall from Atrus's hands into that very same space. To this end, he would have people, alleged transgressors of the law, run into it. That sucks. So he could observe their fate. Telescope which still stands there as one he had built for these callous experiments. Did not die. What became of them remains a mystery. What's of Gehn's optics? Prevented him from learning their fate. Starfield beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It's a gentle space, hospitable to life. It's a flowing river. So Atrus experienced it after he had fallen into it. More than that, he never understood, never able to conclude from its origins, or never conclude upon its origins. The visions tell me that it was born out of the will of the Maker, perhaps for some greater purpose that we cannot yet understand. Remember Atrus's words from his journal. Realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. Continued falling into that starry expanse. Really like the mythology of this, like, universe, multiverse. Unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared. Riven. Very design that stands vertically at one end of the something. They said that was a name of one of the islands. and adopted as the symbol of their cause, the sacred symbol for them is a representation of their doctrine, basically being anti-Gehn. To face this symbol is sacrilege. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins. I haven't told them that I wrote it into this age, along with all the other daggers. Strange how such a young religion can be so unbending, even to their own god. It's funny. Tried to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain so much power. The enemy uses something against them. They're fearful of Gehn's symbol, terrified by his symbolic use of the, is that the wark? The fish? Don't want to hear this from me. I'm sure it caused some of the, oh, it's paranoia. Okay, I can see it now. I don't know, this particular handwriting is really hard for me to read for some reason. My attempts even caused some of the younger members of the Moiety to doubt that I am Catherine. Rare encounters with those who say they follow Gehn have been discouraging. I've hoped to have some communications with the surface villagers. They always flee from me. Heard news of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gehn. Soon after we trapped Gehn on Riven, claimed he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as reminders of their failure. In the village circles, it's told that this was a punitive act performed by Gehn to mark the beginning of a period of restitution, which they've proven their devotion to him, delivered unto a new and better existence. You need to try to reach them. Doors open. Gehn is free. That seems bad. Gehn can create working books. He had written one age before I arrived. He kept this accomplishment so well hidden that any of his closest ministers were not aware. Only his closest ministers were aware until now. Okay. Not sure. Perhaps he's written others. A few years ago, where the Moiety were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gehn had intended to destroy. Been partially written, but did not work. Didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gehn's books worked. Instead of connecting problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure world of the Riven forest, or the impure wood of the Riven forest. Proceeded to engineer cumbersome mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes to heal his book's inherent flaws. Okay, this is important. So this is the other Uber puzzle that I was going to talk about. I don't have a lot of screenshots of it, but it was the other thing I was keeping in my mind as a thing I have to work on. Let me find this guy. Yeah. So there's all these like domes, and they have like a zoetrope on them while they're spinning, and you can like look through a little lens, and it shows you one of these eye symbols. And in Gehn's document, he talks about color symbology. Superficially, it's based on a 6-color system. I'm convinced there has to be a deeper connection to 5. So when I was messing around with this document before, I just speculated that this was trying to be Roy G. Biv in order. I assume that this was like associated with the animal puzzle for a while, since all the animal puzzles things have eyes on them, but I don't think it had anything to do with the animal puzzle. Completely distinct puzzle that I don't know what the answer is to it. I know that there are those domes. I think there might be one in every island I've been to. I previously speculated that the domes are like a way to teleport between the islands, but maybe they're more important than that. And I know that there's some kind of color association with them, but I have no idea what that association is. I have this thing where I noted green, blue, violet, red, orange, green on the zoetrope, but maybe that's not the same on all of the zoetropes. I'll have to look at some of those domes after I finish this. But I assume that's what she's talking about here, because they all have a book in them that doesn't work. One of the consequences of the screwed solution was that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy. Related problems delayed his success for quite some time. Finished his work, was finally able to link to an age. Kept its success extremely well hidden. some reason or another, belligerent pride. He's made modifications to the domes which make it obvious that he's using the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. Perhaps he means to lure us into using the books in the domes. He can't believe we would blindly swallow this suicidal fact. I wouldn't know that we have one of his books, the stolen burnt book. There's a possibility of blank. Read the burnt book. Agent describes to be unsuitable. New home of the Modi must be modified. We'll dream of requester group to solve the combination. We'll open the domes. It's open. We can power the burnt book. Okay. Solve the combination that will open the domes. Once open, we can power the burnt book. So I can't open the domes. It was in Gehn's notebook. Just there's a dead book inside of him. Don't think Gehn will interfere. He will leave the bait. Begin writing the Modi's age. Acquire a second book from Gehn. This is tension. Strain, blurs by vision, nightmares. Ayla and Eddie stay close. Huh, okay. Well, let's save again. That's a Catherine book, I guess.
No, vai. Non sauce. Iar bine, e poco.
Love the costuming they did for these.
Freitag.
The Myst got some extra money, essentially. Oh, is it a bad ending? Oops. Alright, well, don't look at that book. That's why I saved. I remembered from Myst. Music composed and produced by Robin Miller, who's also like the main writer. Yeah, so I'm like trapped in the book is what those people were looking at me, sealed in it essentially. Let me just kill it here and... This book's not done yet. Oh, okay, thank you. I thought I had scrolled to the bottom. I must have misclicked. Still another book. Concern Gehn will miss it. Discover the combinations for entering the domes. We haven't discovered the method for powering them. Powering our burnt book with Gehn's domes. We'll be able to link to this age. Access to the domes for a short time before we're discovered. You can only use the domes once. Just find another way to make the books work. What the fuck this is? That's cool. Jizz and Gen's books. Our burnt book all seem to share same sickness. They're not powered. The images are black. Possible to clear the vision with only right substance into the Modi age. This looks like nonsense. I mean, that's the black part of the book that doesn't work. Already, all we can do is wait for word from the leader of the Modi, presumably. Look out for Gehn to power and use the domes. When he does that, we'll have access to one of Genn's domes just long enough. Linked in the ages I've written, I only have to locate the book window substance and refine or adapt it. Laying this window over the gateway image showed. Oh, should heal the books. Make them work. Allow me to use the second stolen book and return to Riven. More of the book windows. No longer have to rely on Genn's clumsy domes. Laugh at these plans. I sound like Atrus. I'm risking my life. Feel no fear, only anxiety. Perhaps it's the source of my nightmares. Sure, like a great wound is opened. It stains the Riven soil with blood. While the Modi knife. Voices grow so loud. For this part, the Modi complete faith that I will accomplish my task, lead them to a better world. Fulfillment of their prophecy, they're also fearful and tense. Don't know what they'll think if I fail. Don't know what they will think or do if I fail. It is done. It seems too good to be true. I feel like it's all still a dream. We've already evacuated all of the Modi to this new age. Okay, so it's fine if I cause problems here. I'm not going to kill anybody. Yes, other than the people who stayed behind. Beautiful, and I'm pleased. My people live in safety and comfort. They stand under the fair sky, unafraid. Dazzled by their freedom, they're happy. They have named it Tay. So much to be done. We're not protected yet. The way to completely safeguard this place is destroy the book, which links to here from Riven. I don't know how to bring this up. The Modi. Extremely reluctant about destroying the only link to Riven. Hear this hesitation. Cutting off my own connection, but for their sake, it must be done. Anxious to know if our activities have aroused Genn's suspicions. If so, we must act quickly. I'll return to Riven to see Genn's reaction for myself, but tonight I finally rest. Okay, that was cool. I think I got the gist of the story. We're evacuating Riven because it's falling apart because Genn's a dick. And he, like, basically was destroying everything and enslaving everybody, and there was, like, a group of people that were, like, acting as resistance against him. Okay, so blue book in inventory is a trap book. Don't look at it. You will have a game over. Long horizontal book is Catherine's book. The red book is Atrus's book, right, that I started with. I've read through a few times. And then the only other book that I've encountered that just has text in it is Genn's book in his lab. I've just been calling him the bad guy up to this point. Okay, so presumably this lets me go back. So this wasn't knowledge, this was actual progress. I now have Catherine's book, and I have a prison book. Yeah. Okay, let's get out of here. I might need some help with navigation. I'd still pretty easily get lost. So I'm going to give my other thoughts here. I think I'm completely done with the animal puzzle, right? It was pretty much getting sent to that little tower and getting the books brought to me. So as part of my pre-stream research, confirmed about the animals. Okay. So there are 4 islands I've been to. There's the island I started on that has the telescope thing. I now have the code for. Problem with that is that the text said that the telescope thing is bad, that like opening that is bad. So I don't know if I actually should go do that. I guess I can because it's an obvious, like, what's the word, breadcrumb for me to pursue, but it made it sound like it's not going to be a good thing if I go in there. So it's 2... 1, 2, 1, 4. It's pretty straightforward. Save it later. Well, actually, this is the Void Stranger thing. Do it here. Code. Telescope. Vacuum code. Oh, that's cool. It's randomized. So you have to come here and do this to speedrun it. You can't just like know what the code is. Is that a change from the first game? I pointed star. I know the game's kind of loud. Hold on. No randomization in the original. That's smart. I have to like take this trapeze thing back down, right? Oh, right, I have a ladder now. I had a note of where the ladder was as a shortcut to get back here. So, my other notes. There's the island I started on with the telescope thing. There's this island, which I've called the Treetops Island, because it has all these, like, villages up in the sky. I guess it's not really, they're not in the treetops. There's the Industrial Island, which you start in this big, like, pool, and there's a giant machine, and you have to do all these puzzles to, like, get out of there, climb through a vent, and then you end up in Gehn's laboratory. As far as I know... Okay, so I was under the impression that I'm completely done with the first island that I started on, aside from the telescope puzzle, which I now have the code for. I don't think there's anything to do there. But I was asking in Discord, hey, is my intuition about this correct? Because I don't want to like be leaving behind a puzzle that I'm forgetting, assuming that it's 100% completed when it's not. It sounds like there is, in fact, something for me to do on the first island. So that's something I could do now, something that's not related to the telescope. This island, the second island, I think this animal puzzle that I just did was the last thing here. I mean, there's obviously still information here, and there's probably that dome thing, but I don't think there's any like outstanding puzzles here. So I think I'm pretty much done with this island, mechanism-wise. The third island I was talking about, the Industrial Island with the pool and Gehn's laboratory, I know I'm not done with because there's a big golden dome that I can't get to. There's like a big bridge, and there's a lever I can pull, but when I pull the lever, nothing happens. So I have to find some way to cross that bridge. But other than that, I don't think there are any outstanding puzzles on Island 3. And then Island 4 is the one that has like the hand pin impression toy machine thing that shows you the shapes of the different islands. And shows you like I thought they were tetrominoes, but they're not all 4 blocks, like different pieces that represent the different islands. And my suspicion was that that island pretty much just has information for other puzzles. It doesn't have any puzzles itself, and it sounds like that is correct. So I definitely have something to do on Island 1. I don't have anything left to do on this island. I need to figure out how to get across the bridge on Island 3. And Island 4 I'm going to have to come back to because there's information for puzzles, but there's no mechanisms that I'm missing. That is my understanding as we discussed it in Discord. Let me know if I got anything off there. So this will take me back to 4, but I don't need to do that, so I won't. I'm really bad at navigating this place. I get lost really easily. That guy shows up. Goes to 4. I'm going to try to get back on the thing to go back to Island 1 if I can. That goes to Island 3. I don't want to do that. Basically done with that whole area. This goes to the plesiosaurs. This, I think, goes back to Island 1. Okay, yeah, this is right. So there's something I haven't done here. I know you can get Gehn's head comes up in this thing. I've done everything with this machine. See the big golden dome in the distance. This is the rotating room. I don't know if I've been at it from this side before. But I did everything with the rotating room because the rotating room has a bunch of lore in it. It has a door that leads to a thing. Wait, I don't think I've done this before. I just never come at it from the other direction and seen that button. Whoa, okay. How did I miss this? I feel... And I had to unlock this path? What did I do to unlock it? Okay, cool. I see. Interesting. Gotta turn around in a second. This is what I want. Oh, I see. So I pulled a lever. I didn't know what it did, but what it did was it opened a door that's only visible if you're exiting from Island 2 back to Island 1. Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited to have more content here. Okay, so these are the island shapes. Let me take a screenshot of this. Right. I think I already have what all these islands represent somewhere. Caldera Island. Island with doohickey on it. Oh, I think that's the island. That's the island with that I was on when I took that picture. It's the impression, an impression toy. I guess I can call it the Island. Probably an easier thing I can remember. I don't know what the single dot island is. I don't even know if I visited that, unless if I just like teleported to it a second ago, if that's what the implication is. I don't know if I know for sure what that one is, but it does feel like Island 2 is the biggest island, so it would make sense if that's the biggest one. Village. Box Art Island. This would be Starting Island. Maybe, who knows? I'll try to study them more closely next time I go back to that machine. So then we have 5 directions. Thing in the southeast pointing to the singular dot. Yeah, this is something that my only complaint about Riven, I think this game is basically perfect. It, like I said, it feels like a game from 2020 that was sent back in time to the 90s. But the way you turn is very confusing to my brain for whatever reason. Sometimes you don't necessarily turn 90 degrees and it always throws me off. That button's probably really important. So is the remake like fully 3D? Can you just look around in every direction? It makes it really hard for me to keep track of my like bearing. An on-screen compass might help. You think it's worth playing the remake even though I've played the original? I'd be down to check it out. It's cool that they made it. Oh. Okay, well I know what that is. That's good. sounds cool. I'm not missing any sneaky buttons. This is the game that had the really sneaky button that was on the other side of a door, right? So maybe now I can go to Island 3. A cool room. Game's like art really holds up, I think. So there's another way in this room. That's cool. Okay. I don't think I left anything else behind back here. I was trying to check left and right. Is there a way I can get here from that other bridge across the way? I guess there's like a valve there that I need to turn. I don't know if this is just a switch between two different states. Production designer for Aladdin. Wow, yeah. No kidding. Strong creative vision. Okay, so it's not just switching between two states. That's good. There's basically only 2 doors. There's like 5 apertures in that room with the stained glass windows and the scarabs. But only 2 openings, right? Is this the way I came? I don't know if I can get to that other thing. Yeah. Okay, so I know the code for this now, but it seemed like the document said I shouldn't do this. Do I still have stuff I can do elsewhere? I guess I can go to the 3rd island. I'm wondering if my instinct is right that maybe I shouldn't do this right now, even though I know the code. You already got this stopper, yeah. Hidden. But Island 3. Oh, save before I do if I do. Okay. See if it gives me any information. So it was... Just got this. Two one 214. Oh, nice. Oh, that's pretty spooky. Whoa. It's literally containing like the void of space. It's a really cool animation. I love shit like this. Yeah. I thought the machine was a vacuum, like it was sucking down.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine?
Sorry, dude.
The book is empty.
Okay, so that's what I have to do at the
I
end.
don't understand.
You never did.
No.
Father, I am no longer your father because you are no longer my son.
Damn. I'm glad I saw that, actually. Alright, I guess you kind of go there so you know, okay, we have to rescue Catherine.
I don't know what you thought you were doing, but thank you. I finally am free.
Shit. Well, that's not good. Oopsies. You enter at the beginning of the game, you get a special ending. That's funny. I guess I kind of got information from that. The information is we need to rescue Catherine and probably deal with... I assume that was Gehn. What a piece of shit. What a sucky guy. Okay. I feel like I have an easier way to get through the third island that doesn't involve having to go through the minecart. Did I get like a shortcut there or another? I guess I can take this. I don't have a lot of memory of the best way to get through here, though. If I go up through there, it just climbs me out of here, essentially. I did this forever ago, so I don't remember how to get through here correctly. I can go all the way over there somehow behind the boiler. How do I get behind the boiler? Yeah, I see the ladder over there. Okay, let me try. I see, thank you. That's a shortcut I opened. That's the frog puzzle. This is the fucked up door. Yeah, okay. I was stuck on that for like an hour, if I recall correctly. All right. Hell yeah. New information. Oh, it looks the same. It's interesting. Guess that's not part of this island, is it? Huh. I go to the valve I was looking at before. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, that's a really convenient shortcut. Okay, cool. So I can go straight from island 1 to island 3. Also fancy with your secret turnaround buttons. There's another one of those domes. Okay. Really? No kidding. I guess being able to come from this direction means I'm necessarily going to open access to something I couldn't access before. Right, that's the thing that opened the telescope. Have this button. I have no idea what that did. I don't know if that was a bad thing or a good thing. Oh, really? Okay, so up is where I want it to be for most access to as much stuff as possible. Okay. So how come when I came here before, there's just a flat wall and I just opened it from the side, so I'm not going to be able to unlock anything new from doing this, right? Okay. Getting in here actually isn't that helpful, question mark? Oh. Wait, that's not the side I want to be on. Shit. Maybe the fact that it connects is helpful, though. To go before that thing. If it's a matter of, like, pushing these buttons on different sides, if they're causing it to rotate in a different way, let me mess with it. Try like drawing what the room looks like. Okay, that's the telescope thing. Okay, so it does seem like nothing has changed if I only rotate it from this side. I feel like I need to write down which walls I've been through. So I feel like I've been through 5, but maybe I've only been through 4. But maybe the point is that now that I can walk around in the circle, I can do this. And then does this rotate it in a different direction, maybe? I guess just to save the time, because I have to wait for that whole sound effect to play each time, like... Is there something else to find in the 5-spoked room with the stained glass? Not related to the rotating room. I can stay away from there entirely, but there's something else to do here that I couldn't do before. I don't think there's any reason I want that to be down. Transit through the rotating room may be required. Sorry, y'all. I have having trouble like mentally imagining my position. You're saying something else changed here. Keep looking, but I might just have to ask. I assume it is it something that I like. So I have to transit through the rotating room. So it's something is different on Island 1 now, basically. Okay. Maybe there's like one of these walls like faces the golden dome from a different angle or something. I could actually physically see it there. The minority of puzzles in this game that are kind of mean, like buttons lying around when you turn around, having to go under this door. I guess the dagger is there to convey that to you. Okay, so nothing changed when I did that though, right? Changed the way I got in here, but sorry, I think I have the complete wrong conception of what the rotating room is affording me now. Wait a minute, I think I might know, actually. So, okay. Okay, let me try to state it. I found buttons that made the ladder go up and down. Now that I'm actually in the dome, I can make the ladder go back up and maybe it changes what I can access. Okay, I think I get it. Sorry that took me a minute. I probably have a wildly easier time with this in the remake. Can't skip the animation if it's just the sound effects, sadly. Right, so I need to get back to the staircase room. It's not through here. Shit, I didn't really do that. It's one where it's facing the left, I think. No, it's just going downstairs, right? Yeah. It's just the way you move through the screens. I'm not always clear like where I am spatially compared to where I was previously. That way I can really describe the problem. Be able to do that all along. Did I just turn this off though? Unless if this is a new location. No, that's weird. Thought I just deactivated this. I guess that's supposed to be your hint, right? That you remind yourself that you can see this. Oh, right, that changes this thing. Did I not deactivate it successfully though? It did. The fuck? I didn't have a button last time, if I recall. Okay. One has yellow. Probably need to start taking screenshots of this. Well, I know this password. It just gets me to a door that I can't do anything with. 11, 14, 15, 21, 23. Rose books don't work. So trip's going again. trying to get a screenshot. So this is about timing the button press on the right frame, right? Yellow dot, okay. Island, big dome connected to island 1 and island 3. Yellow single dot. So both of these have been... I undid what I originally did to get into the big dome, right? So was that what let me get this elevator here, or was this elevator here the whole time? It's a matter of like having to do these in the other order. Like do this one first. Okay. Fortunately, I can't visualize what you're describing. There's still something I have to do that involves going through the rotating room, though. Yeah, what's the interactable I'm missing? Sorry. I had to turn these two things, right? This one. Whether or not there's steam, right? But it doesn't actually change anything when I pull it. Instead of venting it. Same here, I'm sending power instead of venting it. Okay. Now, why did just interacting with those cause the bridge to become available the first time if there's another interactable? Just trying to understand. I thought there was like a wheel I could make out from here. Oh, is this it? Thank you. Oh, I had done it like way earlier. But I can't use that, it seems like. Other bridge is the one I'm interested in. Thanks for the help, y'all. Sorry, hard for me to tell these apart, to be honest. So there's a similar lever on one of these bridges. I can look down somewhere to see where it's supposed to be. It's not this thing, right? No, it just opens and closes the door. It is on this bridge segment, though, somewhere. Okay, sorry. This one. Oh, I didn't realize that was that kind of I see. That's why I need the rotating room. Thanks. Yeah, I imagine so. I feel like highlight interactables wouldn't necessarily harm the quality of this game, too. Have to get that as an exit from a totally different direction, I guess. Okay. Machine. The fuck is this? Oh god. Okay. This is the anti-brute force puzzle. Do you understand what the fuck is happening puzzle? Okay. So we got our colors. There are 6 of them. Okay. Something to do with those representing colors. So there's probably a 5x5 thing going on here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are the island shapes, I can tell that. So there's the square island, the big island, the L-shaped island, the single dot. All right, so this probably corresponds to, this is probably why I need the pin impression puzzle back on island 4, is my theory. Probably something in that I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this? Is it just like showing off that the island's 3D and it's art? But no, there must be something there. The problem is each individual thing is 25 spots. So again, I assume that's just like anti brute force detection. And I also have to know what the colors are. Yeah, I figured it would be island 4. So I'm going to go back there to do that. And just put random shit here and see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm just trying to figure out what happens when I do that. Nothing happens. Okay. I don't understand why there's 6 colors though. The book says that doesn't make sense. Based on a 6-color system, I'm convinced there has to be a deeper connection to 5. Interesting. All right. So this is the other Uber puzzle I was expecting to have to deal with. That's fine. Should be able to take the shortcut to 4 here if I can find it in the woods. Wrong way. And you're here, the little monster. I'm a spooky god in my spooky evil machine. Here we go. That just goes up to the top. There's another one of these things. I guess I'll go try and get a screenshot now. It does look like that's a different color. It's yellow again, so maybe yellow is not the color. We call that blue because the rest of it looks blue, bluish. Treetop, village island. Okay. This is where there were like 2 sides to the exit, essentially, was the puzzle solution. I don't know if I can leave again after I rotate the thing. That makes that extra mean that you can't turn around in the other ones, like at all. Okay, we're back. That's the same pattern we just saw. The puzzle I was looking at. It's gonna be that little island off in the distance. crater. Yeah, there's the 5x5 grid. I see. Problem is, I don't really know what I'm looking at. Well, I think I know what the... I think that the L piece has to be in the bottom left corner. That one in the right spot right now. Top left. The thing that stands out is that. That's like... I vaguely understand what they're saying. So this is the top leftmost corner. There's a little divot. It's right there. It's here. Maybe. If I rotate this, it doesn't help me at all. Just make sure there's not some feature that I wasn't able to see from another angle or something. This is a really cool puzzle concept, because I like how I came and I saw this thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is, like, complete nonsense. Now it is contextualized. The tiny little dots in the top right corner. Alright, well that one has two things that look interesting. It has this little orb. I guess the orb is entirely contained in a single grid square. That's like on an intersection, so it's probably the orb. So it's the top rightmost thing. It's like here. I might be completely off with this, but this is my only way to play around with it. Let me put small island. Crater island. I'm still only going to get 5 things, not 6, so I don't know what the deal is with why they give me 6 colors. Like, it would be kind of mean if it's just one of the colors is just, you're just supposed to ignore it. You're supposed to figure out which color you're supposed to ignore. The whole, like, I feel like it's connected to 5 in some way. Seems misleading in that regard. Oh, this one has another small... little tiny dome that's entirely contained within a grid square. Okay, is there something else that could possibly be, though? So there's this piece of the dome. This makes me really worried about the crater island one that I got, though, because that one did not have a dome. Well, we'll see once I do all 5 of them. If there's a consistent pattern, I can come back to it. So that's the right orientation. It's in the top leftmost grid square, so it would be here, I think. Okay. This is... Because it has the giant ass dome, and it also has the Ghehn's studio or whatever. I think this is Island 3. Maybe. Okay. That one has to be in the bottom right. Okay, we have another. I think it's got to be that dome thing, as it occupies a single tile. It's completely contained within a single tile. Let me check everything else. That was the southeast, I think, right? Sure. That makes me extra worried about the crater island. Okay, so it's on that grid square. So that's down here. That is fitting into the right spot. And it's here, and it's up 2, 3, 4, 5. It's up 4 over 4. I think that's right. Let me make sure. 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless if that's 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I guess that would fill out that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it going to rotate the thing to try to just confirm that I have the grid lines right? 2. Yeah, that has to be right. I don't know what else it could be. Okay, and then just confirming there's not like another button. There's like a secret interactable for this. Like it's just these 5 buttons, right? I'm really worried about the fact that there are 6 colors to place. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. This is Village Island, presumably. I actually don't know which one is Crater Island then. Maybe the one we start on? Okay, but it's like really deep in there. So I know it's in this square. I think it's the second, it might be the 3rd tile, it's hard to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the giant dome is considered part of the starter island. So not Island 3. I'm gonna try to go on the island and like study the... Looks like that's actually up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's up 4. But it's all the way on the left. it's here, I think. All right, so obviously I don't know what the colors are, but am I on the right track with this? Does this look like completely bonkers? Just want to make sure I'm not like barking up completely the wrong tree. Right track, okay. So I assume I have to get the colors from the spinning zoetrope orbs because that's the only thing that has those eyeball symbols, right? It's all the way over. What's that? Here now. Okay, well, I guess I need to double check because I'm not confident that I'm right with this one. Unfortunately, the one I started with. I can do the puzzles, I just can't fucking walk around in the game world. That is very clearly in a... It is like entirely in a grid square. I'm not missing a dome for this one, am I? I don't know if they're like deliberately trying to fuck with me here. Like you can only see it from a weird angle and then you have to do like a translation to put it in the right spot or something. Okay, I think I'm going to be comfortable with just asking. This is what I should be looking at here in lieu of a dome, right? It's the only feature that is in a single grid square that stands out at all. Okay. Okay. Let me go look for the spinny zoetrope boys. This thing, the angle's like wrong, right? So I kind of just have to guess, I guess. I think one of them tends to have a line on it. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Do you like they have this puzzle sensibility of like we're gonna have at least one thing that breaks the pattern? Okay, so it's the middle closed eye, right? It seems like that one's always highlighted in gold, which is weird. I haven't put these. I don't know how I'm supposed to infer color from any of this, though, is the problem. Okay, I have a question for my own sanity. Is this the only piece of information I have to work with in combination with the domes themselves to deduce what the colors are supposed to be? My theory of the puzzle is that one of these exists on each island. I've plotted... There is another piece of information. I've plotted... So like this is an island, this is an island, this is an island, this is an island, and this is an island, right? So it's island. So my theory is that there's exactly one of these little domes on each of these islands, and that I can get the eyeball symbol by studying the thing and looking for the one that's yellow or gold, which makes me wonder if yellow shows up in all of them. Maybe that's the color that's not actually included in any of this, that we use all the other 5 colors. And yellow is like the holy color or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's weird that they're all yellow, though. I would have expected this symbol to be a different color on each of these guys. So you're saying... Okay, so I have the journal entry that shows me all the possible symbols. I have the zoetrope domes themselves. Move these over. I need to change the names of these. So this is Tiny Island, Island 5. This is... Oops. Village Island. You said this one is supposed to be Island 1 with the giant dome on it. And then I don't know, this is Island, so by process of elimination, this must be Island 3, the crater. Let's use numbers, it's probably an easier way for me to keep track of it. Okay. So let's start grabbing screenshots. So this is... You said the big dome counts as Island 1, this thing does? It's the second island. Really don't know how I'm supposed to infer the color, though. It's got to be... I guess it has to be from some other place I haven't been to. Or you're saying it's something I've seen before, but I didn't make the connection at the time? Is it in a book somewhere? I guess I could still visit Island 3. I couldn't do anything on Island 5, right? Island 5 was the box art island where I was given the book. I noticed these poles sticking out of the water have different colors on them. Blue, okay. Praying that I see all the colors except for yellow. That would make me very happy. Orange. Fuck, that's yellow, isn't it? Green. Was everything except for red? Okay. Well, the fact that there's 5 colors there is suspicious, but they don't help at all. so the thing I need to do to connect the eyeballs is elsewhere on Island 4, is what you're saying. Okay, so I didn't really understand what most of this was last time, so maybe it involves this thing. This is where I got the colors from the light at the top of the screen. I actually remember this now. I think that's where I got, because I wrote down green, blue, violet, red, orange, green. Hold on. I don't remember what causes the light to turn on. Oh wait, here we go. Thank you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's still 6 though. Okay. Oh, I did write those down. That's green. Orange. It just happened to be written RGBiv. It's red that brings a fish boy over. Just making sure I wrote this down correctly. No color for that one. Okay. Yeah, it is literally just RGBiv. Or RGBiv. Let me just check them all to make sure I'm not wrong here. Green, green. Yellow, yellow. Orange, orange. Red. Okay. So I can make some associations then. So we can say Island 1 is green. Island 2 is red. Island 4 is orange. So then I have to go to Island 3 to see what that one is. I don't know if I remember where that was. I'll try to figure it out, though. I guess this does look like the big crater, huh? Yeah, I bet the island shape is much easier to tell in full 3D. Right. So we know it's underground here somewhere, right? Is the whole idea. And I've definitely been to it before. I just don't think I ever took a screenshot of it. Right, this one. Okay, okay, that makes sense. So the little divot is just supposed to be showing me that... I see. The divot is just meant to show me, there's a dome under here. Ah, okay, that's cute. Yeah, I know, right? Like it's vertical line. Okay, and then I worry I'm just intended to infer Island 5. I guess that's kind of their trick, right? It's like, okay, we have a pattern, there's 5 things, 3 of them follow the pattern, one of them's fucked up, the other one is just missing, and you have to infer it. Which is actually kind of a smart way to do a puzzle game, actually. I like it fits in with the whole 5 theming as well, but... So there definitely is not one on Island 5. First of all, am I correct that the box art island is Island 5? Probably faster for me to go the other way. Oh, it's not? Is that tiny one tile island an island I'm permitted to visit? Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that's where I was, so I'm talking about that. So I can't get to the island, so whatever the deal is with that island, I have to just infer it. Okay. Weird. Right, to go all the way around. Okay, thanks. Wait for it to go the other exit. I guess it'll be nice too in the full remake that you can, because you're always able to look around. They have a lot of puzzles where, like, on this screen, unlike most screens, you can look down or up. I I think the core design and the core structure of the game is what feels so brilliant and out of its time. But I do think that like even just having something where it just has like a little glowing arrow that says, hey, you can look up, you can look left, you can look down. I guess they're expecting you to just do the pixel hunting, but okay. So things that I know where green goes. That one is no color. Fuck. I guess it has to be a violet because the light didn't turn on. But let me do the other ones first since that's something I have to infer. Island 2 is red. Here. 4 is orange. Oops, shit. Okay, then Island 3 presumably is violet. I guess I can't prove it. So I guess I can just test both of them here. My theory is that yellow is not included because yellow is the color of all the symbols when it locks in. So I can try that first. $556 quadrillion solutions. That's cool. Try to look up and down at every screen is dated. Yeah, I think it's fine to just have a little marker on the edges of the screen to tell you. I actually don't know what this will do if I pass. I guess I have to go check below so I don't get immediate feedback as to whether my answer is correct. I guess that's fair. It's kind of mean, but... Oh, there is? Okay. There's a tiny little button. Like you do the whole puzzle and you don't know if it's right because you missed a tiny little button. Oh, that's fucked up. I think that's probably my only lingering complaint is that, like, it feels so good to get the answer right, and it's structured so much like, you know, a game like Outer Wilds, which obviously is heavily inspired by Myst. But Outer Wilds, I think, does a better job of making sure that when you get the information, you get to enjoy the information, right? You don't get confused about, so that thing... I guess I don't know what happens if it's wrong. Oh, that didn't happen? Oh, so I was right. Okay. So it's simply you just don't use yellow? Is the clue that you're not supposed to use yellow, that yellow is the color of all of these? Like, how am I supposed to know, or is I'm just supposed to guess because now it's a 50-50? Oh, cool. No idea what the fuck that did, but that's cool. Being able to ask chat has been very helpful because what you all have been able to do is let me narrow down giant gun of the world's car. You let me narrow down areas that I was done with, which that would be the biggest stressor for me with trying to solve a puzzle like that. But because I had ruled it out, it's like, okay, it's got to be something on Island 4. I already recognized this pattern. I could see the island shapes here from Island 4. That feels pretty solvable, but it only feels solvable when you have the chat superpower of, am I done here? Right? Something that it would be cool if puzzle games could find out a way to tell you. In a way, because I don't think it's a massive spoiler most of the time. I guess I've played a handful of puzzle games that'll have like a little question mark, like there's still something interesting. Outer Wilds does that, right? It'll put like a thing that says there's still stuff to do here if you haven't discovered all the relevant information in the ship computer yet. I have literally no idea what that did, and I honestly don't know where to look. It launched something straight up into the sky. I can't think of any other lingering areas that I had unexplored. So Island 1, we said I still had stuff to do, but I think I did it today. It was by going in through the back of the rotating room, getting into the big golden sphere, moving the bridges up and down. Island 2, we said we were done after the animal puzzle. Island 3, we said we were done other than getting into the golden sphere. Island 4 is just information, and I can't get to Island 5. Oh, the books. Thank you. Good question. Good way to frame it. K5 Josh, thanks. Doy. Maybe they do something now. Yeah, that's true. Them being self-contained was actually kind of an advantage in that regard. So forget where the sphere was here. Oh, right, it was this weird, like... This seems like crazy missable, this one. Being stuck in the game for like weeks trying to figure that out. Okay, so it's 11, 14, 15, 21, 23. They're not right? Do I have to do it from a specific book or a specific dome? Deactivated the power after solving the puzzle. Oh, fuck. Okay, video games. Oodle lolly, it's a pain to get back there. No worries. I have to get to the other side of it first, right? Which I can't do easily. Did I do it too many times? Fuck. This one I can skip. Okay, let me just copy this onto another monitor here. Here, green, here, violet went here, red went here, orange went here. Oh, you can't skip the rotating animation in the remake. One, 14, 11, I think it was. All right, hooray! That's cool. That's very exciting. Do I have a different world to go to for each of the domes? Oh. Probably should have saved before doing that. I learned my book lesson. So I can do that quickly. Oh, okay, that's the different islands. Oh, it's showing how that they all lead here into this little cage. Am I in trouble for being here and in a cage right now? Is my save like already too late, or am I gonna be okay? Okay. That was a really cool puzzle. I really like that one. I think that it would have been super reasonable if it wasn't for some of the like hidden button bullshit.
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Gehn. I assume you've heard of me.
Yeah, you suck.
Yes.
Budget Charles Dance.
Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atrus. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago.
Does he only refer to the names of the places by the age number instead of like their
30 lifetimes, what does it matter?
mythos name?
No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed.
I don't believe you. I saw an ending where you murdered Atrus again, and then murdered
Be
me.
sure the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable
He seems
one.
nice.
I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer.
I really like vibing in Myst World. They did a really great job with that.
Atrus's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the Fifth Age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish.
And so it's the Fifth Age.
It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in... Well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies.
This is all one take.
Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves,
It makes sense that it would be
had
Fifth,
been
though.
relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. And as far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people.
Yeah, exactly.
I must admit, though, that my concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Catherine and the moiety
Big
have
time
put my own life at risk on numerous
colonialist
occasions.
vibes.
Consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atrus desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart.
This must have been a giant pain in the ass to record because it's such a long take and he's got like
Completely unaware of her
to smoke the
recent
pipe
state.
and they probably can do a cut there. Yeah.
Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may. Thank you.
You just like happen to be describing a world that already exists because there's an infinite number of worlds. I kind of like that idea if that's what it is. Yeah, that makes sense. Viper. Atrus and the brothers were all like the dev and like friends and family of the dev in the first game, right? And I thought they did a pretty good job. Yeah, I like the idea that there's an infinite possible number of worlds, but this book technology, you just, whatever you describe, you're just picking one of the worlds that happens to exist and making a connection to it, rather than like inventing the world. Like you're not literally God, right? I think that's a fun concept to think about.
Perhaps it would be best if you went through first. You may need some time to decide. That is reasonable.
Oh, it
Until
gave me
then,
a chance to click
as a
during
token of my
the...
good intentions, I will allow you free access to my linking books, cruel though they may be, and to the rest of the Fifth Age.
Did it actually, would it have let me click during the cutscene there?
Please understand, there is nothing I want more than a chance to resolve matters between Atrus and myself, especially in light of what has become of Catherine. But unless you are willing to demonstrate to me that your intentions are honorable, I cannot risk it. The sanctuary I've been writing for the islanders is nearly complete. After all these years, it would be a shame if I were unable to finish it. The work I am doing is quite demanding. Please don't signal me unless you've decided to use the book. The switch will reset itself once you link from here.
Put a dick back. If I had clicked on the book, would that have been another bad ending? I like that it's unaddressed, but I also really like the idea that you change something in the book and you're just like now sending it to a different world that's slightly different conditions, right? So I can go back to the individual islands. Well, I think it could still work because, like, they would remember you, but it's a different world, right? It's a world where they have memories of you. It would be a good Star Trek episode. Can I only click on the books to exit now? Is there something else I can do here? Oh, he took the prison book from me, didn't he? Trap book? Was that the one he was trying to show me? Oh, I see what you're saying. I know that that book is bullshit. It is kind of interesting that they seem to expect you to get bad endings to kind of learn what you're doing. I guess in that case, I need to go to the fifth island because I've never been there, and everything else would just be places I've already been to. I really like that animation. Okay, just making sure there wasn't another button or something I could interact with. So, I assume that would be fast travel when I first encountered it. For something about the what appeared to be like an
You made it.
did.
But how'd you get past Gehn?
Wig.
He must really believe I've gone mad. I know what he's doing. He's watching you.
he's waiting for you to make a mistake. He's hoping you'll lead him back to Dunny. You can't let Gehn... Atrus sent you to save me. But if Gehn gets back to Dunny, he'll kill him. I think I know how to signal Atrus, but it's going to take both of us. You'll have to trap Gehn before you can get the combination. Be careful. Go then. If you won't help me, then I have nothing more to say.
Trap Gehn. Oh yeah, we saw videos of her walking around before, right? Of this like little chamber. I think that was in his creepy throne. Okay, so I have to trap Gehn before I can do anything with her. Trapping Gehn requires the prison book, I assume? But he has the prison book. And the combination she's talking about is the combination of this thing, imagine. There's still nothing I can do in here, right?
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it. Here, I shall follow you directly. Please.
He's like trying to trick me.
You're free to go. But I think you should not come back unless you're willing to use the book.
Making it seem like I have to click on the book and there's not another way around it. This isn't like a magic pixel thing where there's like a part of the book I can click on to force him to use it or something, or to get it away from him. Can I solve the entire thing from inside his little prison cell here, or do I have to go somewhere else first? I can solve it. Okay, let me just try clicking on it then. But I assume the whole thing is that I use it, I get sent to the prison dimension, and then he's like, haha, you showed that it wasn't safe. You're stuck now, bad ending.
All right then, once more.
But then aren't I trapped too? I can't get out once I go there. Yeah, now I'm fucked. Oh, it can only contain one person at a time. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't think I entered either of the prison books in the first game. I think I got the clue that they were both bad endings. After we finished it. Okay, well that didn't stick with me, my bad. So is he trapped now? That's cool. Okay. What a goof. What you do all day, dude? Tapestry really ties the room together.
Kianenatsu? Shima? Shorate. Mataneta. Tagamem. San Botegan Shem. Fasi.
Are all the people in this mythos like to Gehn immortal? Able to be immortal through like travel? The journal, astounding news. Catherine's return to the Fitch. Nathan the Fisher Plateau Cage. Sick with frustration, having lost the only quarry the cage has ever caught. With hope, I make the way back to. I pronounce it Donnie. One other way to ensure they're not literal gods. Okay. Never permitted them to survive this long. Great work. Oh, I see. That's the big machine he was talking to them in. I was able to pick that up from context clues. So fucking condescending, this guy. Since Little Kitty Big City wrapped early, I have a little bit of room to go late if we think we're close to finishing here. It feels like I gotta be close, right? Minds of children are more malleable. Gross. More appropriate posture toward the culture that gave them their lives. Gross. Sure, yeah. A couple of hints on what he's saying that this guy's kind of a huge dick. I guess they had that trick in the first game too. The brother's like, oh, it's the other brother who sucks. I am the good brother. Hee hee hee. No, I talk like a fucking Dark Souls character. I guess this lines up with a bunch of the entries from Catherine's book. Oh, if you refuse the third time, he shoots you. That's funny. Yeah, I was under the impression that it was a trick. So would he have been trapped if I had gone it the first time he offered? Or did I have to go talk to Catherine first? I guess that's the twist on the first game, that the first game makes you think never go in a book when someone tells you to. And this one you have to go in the book. I guess the idea is that you believe him that he's going to follow you, and him following you is what traps him. It makes sense with hindsight, but when I was trying to understand what the game was expecting me to do, I was very confused. It also felt like getting the bad ending did not inform me well enough of what was about to happen. Tink, tink, tink. Ding, ding, ding. And there's numbers on there that looks like I can read if I have to. Just in case that matters for later. Some of the things you interact with, like actual physical props that they took video of, because a lot of them just like look incredible. Really cool. And the rest of this place is just lore for him, essentially. Oh, I see. Turn the power back on. Real photos for textures. Let me talk to her first. Get invented chats. Hey, girl. I was impressed that like he was actually smoking, or he blew smoke out. Isn't that it? Oh, now it goes down. No, it's still going up. Will she not talk to me again? We have to come here with Gehn trapped in the book. Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Oh, weird. I see, so it's a way to go talk to her without her being able to escape. I think the mirror is kind of a bump the lamp thing.
We have to move quickly. Gehn's people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book? You did it. We're all free. You captured Gehn. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once I realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure.
Right.
I know it's risky, but it's the only way to signal Atrus.
Know how to do that.
I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
Cool. That's pretty exciting as like a final thing to do. I love that it's like the puzzle that you see at the very beginning of the game is the last one you do too. That's really cool. Yeah. So this does have the right answer. That's cool. There we go, first try. Island 1 was, this one. Did you guys fuck up this thing? I guess they did. Have to pull the lever again, I guess, right? Thanks. Yeah, sorry, exclamation point commands don't work anymore because Twitch is stupid and broke their own API. Okay. like not room for the manhole to open if you have the lock still in place or something. It was 2124, I want to say. 21214. Such a fun concept. The telescope is looking down into the void is really cool. It's a substantially more exciting ending than Myst, and Myst had a cool ending.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book?
Atrus!
I don't...
Don't have time. I took it as just like opening into the void of space, right? The astral plane, the space in between ages or whatever.
More than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now clear for all of us.
Oh, really? I think they mentioned something in the book about, oh yeah, that says that, oh yeah, actually it's okay to be in space, in the astral plane or whatever.
This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. You know where to find me. Goodbye, my friend.
Whoa. It's really cool.
Now I understand.
Really like this world.
Endings and beginnings are within
Yeah, at least in New
vision.
Mexico.
That Riven cleft of stars that access both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my Myst book into worthy
Really?
hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend.
I think you're just saying it links to where I am physically as the player.
People of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really like this game. Thanks for keeping it on subblock. I know it was a little awkward as a subblock game with long gaps between sessions, but I don't think we had too much bumbling around as a result of forgetting what was going on. I think Myst holds up better. I'm not going to say it's better. I just think it holds up better because of the way it's structured. This one takes some risks with the way the puzzles are set out, the fact that it's all one big interconnected world with puzzles from one area informing puzzles from other areas. And I think for the most part that would work, but it's hampered a lot by little silly things like hidden buttons behind doors and little pixel hunts and the like. I think this game is very fixable, for lack of a better word. I mean, you can't fix great art, but the things that would cause it to lose people in the process aren't making the game more interesting necessarily, just more frustrating. And I think that it's pretty trivial to go in and say, okay, you know, here are indicators to show when you can look up, when you can look down, right? Here's a highlight interactables button or whatever. Because I think the fun part of the game is figuring out the puzzles and figuring out the world and figuring out the connection between stuff, not the kind of hassle. It's actually sort of surprising that it became more of a hassle, or it feels like it's more of a hassle into Riven, Because I know that there was a little bit of that in the original Myst, but I don't think it was quite as bad. Swapping discs every time you go to a new island. Oh, that sounds awful. Yeah. Overall, though, I think the puzzle quality is extremely high. I really enjoyed all of them. I really liked figuring out the number system, the digit system. That was really cool. The whole 5 concept of vibe is incredible. I think that the game is so good that it basically says who gives a shit about kind of I'll call them accessibility issues, really. It does make me interested in checking out the fully 3D remake of the game, because I imagine that does a lot to clean up a lot of the frustration of it. Yeah, interesting to see what they change in the remake and what they don't. But I would still argue, even with some of the jank, that this game feels like it's a game that was made today, that was sent back in time. You can really see it's been really interesting, essentially playing Outer Wilds first and then playing Myst and Riven, to be like, oh, Outer Wilds didn't invent this stuff, but also, holy shit, I can't believe that this existed in the 90s. That's crazy. It's such a cool, it's like a burgeoning genre. I don't think anyone's come up with a name for it. They're not going to call it Myst-likes, right? But knowledge is progression games. I think it's difficult to try to call it a genre because there's a lot of subtleties to what make those games have things in common, like Myst, Outer Wilds, Void Stranger, Tunic. You know, I've heard Animal Well is maybe in a similar category. I haven't played that yet. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, it was a really good time, and I enjoyed it very much. Thanks for putting it on. So perfect timing. We had 2 minutes left in the VOD. Immersive puzzler. Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly.